Hey folks, welcome back to another Polymaster video. So tonight we should have the new Steven Deoxys dropping in the game, and as usual I will be pulling for that live, so make sure to check it out, right? Subscribe, notifications, all that stuff, right? And good luck if any one of you are summoning, right? But anyways, let's talk a bit about the unit, which is something I'm slightly afraid of because like this unit, man, there's like 5,000 things to talk about. Like, where do I even start? Where to even go, right? Hopefully we don't spend like hopefully this video doesn't become like incredibly long again. So I'm just gonna talk about some like interesting things that I learned about him, because again, there's so much things to learn about this unit, right? Between like him getting revealed in like today, right? So yeah, I guess just in terms of like a quick overview, right? He has different forms. Yeah, he has two normal forms. First of all, he has an attack form, defense form, and speed form. Although the first normal form really is just like the form you are in before you pick a form. So you start out in the first normal form, and then you have 4 trainer moves. Each one gives you different buffs and stuff, right? And after you use one, you either stay normal with the first one, or you turn into one of the 3 other forms, right? And damn, are they really good. There's a very interesting thing about this is, if you notice over here, neither of these trainer moves have MP, right? So a very fun thing you could do in Battle Villa is, if you use Deoxys, right, and you go, you use attack form. So basically what you could do is just enter the battle, click attack, because there's no MP restrictions on this, right? You could get that +6 special attack, +3 crit, and then go into attack form, and then go nuclear on the Battle Villa stage. And then after that battle, right, most likely is you'll get that again, because every single time, again, you get to pick one of these trainer moves to use that has like no MPs, right? Or I guess no MP restrictions. So you could just like every single time in every Battle Villa stage, you could get +6 attack or +6 special attack and +3 crit, or any of the other ones. Although, I mean, for Villa, you probably that's the main one you're going to be going for, right? So that's really freaking good for one. And yeah, obviously he's not just like a gimmick Villa unit. He is arguably, right? Arguably, some people are calling him the best unit in the game. Do I think he is the best unit in the game at the moment? I'm not 100% sure. I still want to at least try him out first before saying things like that. And look, there are a lot of competition in that, right? I still think SS Lyra is incredibly nuts for the unit that she is, but Deoxys definitely is a very worthy challenger. Definitely a very worthy challenger for that spot, right? Because again, he just does so many things, and it's not that he does some things, like he does a bunch of things, but like none of them are like crazy good, right? It's not like he's like a Silvally or whatever, right? He does a bunch of different things, and he does all of them very well, right? For example, if we just look at attack form, right, which I do think is probably his strongest form. So attack form goes pretty crazy because of the fact that, assuming it works like all the other units, like Luzmin or Megas, etc. The crazy thing is, like, when he turns into attack form, he should have a 2x multiplier on his attack and special attack stat. So that would multiply like all your like other like extra added on stats, like your gear, grid stats, all that stuff, and such by like 2, which is pretty crazy, because you're getting like 120 extra attack special attack from gear, which, instead of what, 448, that's 568 or something, right? Which is pretty nuts, pretty nuts in of itself, which is why, by the way, he is the number 1, or should be the number 1 damage dealer in the game. Obviously the one before that was SS Serena, and we know how good SS Serena is, but again, assuming everything is correct, he should be the number 1 damage dealer in the game. overtaking SS Arena. And also, he should be the #1 AoE sync nuker in the game because of the fact that he is a tech unit. So, you know, once you EX him, he keeps all the tech, you know, insane nuke stuff. But he has the passive, which turns his sync into AoE. That, you know, it's basically, he gets like the striker sync effect, but with tech sync damage, which easily makes him the #1 AoE sync nuker in the game, right? Like the #1 AoE striker nuker in the game, which before was, I think, SS Arena, right? SS Arena. Like, yeah, she's the #1 striker nuker in the game, but like if you want to compare her like overall with all the like tech nukers, she's not even like top 20 or whatever, right? She's not even close. But you actually have a tech EX over here with the striker EX nuke, boom, instantly the #1 AoE nuker in the game. Like, just like that. Crazy stuff here. So that's really, really nice. And yeah, here we do have this passive, which for some reason is still called Power Chain, which is very, very weird. I'm assuming they're going to fix that later on, so that's some, you know, apologems probably, which is cool. So yeah, and then you have like every single hit, you have a 30% chance of getting a physical move up and special move up for like no reason at all, which is really, really funny. So yeah, I do think his attack form, of all his forms, I do think his attack form is probably the most valuable one, because again, the #1 damage. Oh, also, yeah, he is, you know, where he is, but like he, it's a single target damage dealer, right? One turn single target damage dealer, #1 in the game, right? And then you have like the strongest AoE sync nuke in the game as well, right? And good speed. Well, it's not like crazy good, like his speed form, which is crazy good, but you know, good enough speed, all that stuff. If you could get a few of these physical move up next, your Zen Headbutt could unironically do like pretty crazy damage. not 100% sure if you really want to do that, but it would be slightly funny at least, right? Like this guy's just nuts, man. And if you look at the other forms, defense form, also really, really nice. Also really, really nice. The one downside is, you know, it is like a support, but you don't have like the, you know, support sync thing. But like outside of that, right, a very, very, very nice support over here. You know, buffs defense, obviously, buffs attack and special attack when you use the trainer move for your team, right? You got, obviously, defense form is, this guy's a tank, bro. This guy's a tank. Very, very powerful in that aspect as well. And yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going for him. A lot of stuff going for him. You got recover with master heal. That's 60% HP every time you use recover, right? Iron defense, move gear fresh 9 to counteract his relatively bad speed, right? Because that is an issue of all the other things. I mean, there's so much stuff, man. I can't even like. Oh. How do I even go through all this? How do we even go through all this, folks? Yeah. BOGO for Psycho Boost, 50% chance of getting a free move next. First, you know, if you use Psycho Boost, which again would help with the gauges. Move gauge refresh in general helps with the gauges. Right, got some extra 20 special defense and defense over here, which again, the, you know, all that form changing stuff is just nuts, man. It's just nuts. Also, I like how it's like shaped like the Mew grid, which we don't see too often, but it makes sense considering, you know, Deoxys and Mew all have like similar things in terms of the changing forms. Oh, Mew doesn't change form, but Mew gets like a completely, you know, different set of move sets, right? So yeah, absolute tank defense form. Speed form is not bad. Speed form has the ability to shred like what, if I remember correctly, 4 turns off of sync move countdown. Yeah, that's -2 when you use a status move, right? And then when you are in normal form, you come in with another -2 sync move countdown plus speed, you know, +6 speed, and then evasion +3 as well. Which is nice, but the thing about speed is I don't think speed doesn't, with 537 speed, doesn't do like too much outside of like the sync move countdown shredding stuff. that really makes it like do anything like super special. I guess you could still have like the Sync Nuke over here, right? With all that stuff. Your Psycho Boost could do some okay-ish damage with, you know, Fierce Brain, all that stuff. But I feel like Speed Form of the 3 forms, or 4 forms, I guess, although 3 that, or, oh yeah, 4 forms, is probably going to be the least generally useful. Again, I'm not saying it's bad, because I think what Speed Form generally is going to be used for is going to be used for like a lot of like challenge runs. Like if people really want to like flex, get some, you know, speed run records. Like honestly, you know, -4 same move countdown, right? Like you could get, if you're going for some speed run records, this is your guy, right? This is your guy to shred. Yeah, but I don't think it's like generally useful as much as the other 3 forms. Also forgot to talk about normal form. Set Psychic Terrain, right? When you initially use the trainer move thing, right? You get defense, special attack, special defense, speed. So you basically get like all those, you know, stats +2 and stuff. And then you also get fuel economy, so you're nice on the gauges. You got aggravation for your Zen Headbutt, right? Which is nice. So, you know, your normal form is a really nice flincher. Set Psychic Terrain. Should be doing good damage with Psycho Boost as well. Should be doing good damage with your Sync. Defensively, is not that bad with those extra defense boosts and recover, right? And then Cosmic Power and such. So, yeah, normal form is very nice as well. But again, like I mentioned before, attack form is just out of this world crazy. Attack form is just out of this world crazy. I feel like Steven might be the most valuable unit to pull in the game, and I know that's a bit of a, you know, it's pretty arbitrary categorization, but you know what I mean by that is you're pulling for one unit, but you're basically getting 4 different units in it, and again, all of them are good. Even Speed Form, which I do think is probably going to be the least generally useful for like the general, you know, for like casual players, right? I feel like for casual players, Speed Form is probably going to be like the least useful, but it's still really freaking good, right? Really good. Again, Attack Form, I don't think it's even controversial to say it's the best damage dealer in the game, right? And yeah, it's like normal form is very nice. I low-key really like normal form. I feel like people are sleeping a bit on normal form. And defense form is obviously really nice as a tank as well. Like you're getting like 4 units in one, right? Even if you don't, you know, casual player don't really use Speed Form, okay, 3.5 units in one, sure. So I think in terms of like summoning wise, I think he's a very freaking valuable unit. I don't know, man. There's so much to talk about this guy. There's so many different like places you could put him in, and I don't know. He's just good. What can I say? He's a good unit, bro. He's very freaking good. You know what we really need after this guy? We need more synchroned presets. We need more synchroned presets just for this guy, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, anyways. All right, let's talk about if you're pulling from how many copies do you want? Honestly, I feel like 1 out of 5 is generally enough, right? 1 out of 5 is generally enough. You get a lot of stuff at 1 out of 5, actually. You got one sync move power up node, which never happens, right? You get move gauge refresh for Psycho Boost and Headbutt, Recover, and Cosmic Power, which aren't, you know, the craziest things in the world, but you also get Psycho Boost power ups. Again, these are rather common to have at this stage. But at 2 out of 5, you get the rest of the Psycho Move power ups at the top over here, right? You get the general move gauge refresh. You get these 2 big defensive stat nodes, right? For a defense form, that would be really nice. Get morale boost +9. So, you know, get extra +2 special attack if you really want it at the beginning there, right? Move gauge refresh 9 for double team, so every time you use double team, you get 1 gauge back guaranteed. And then pep rally for double team as well, which buffs your team's speed, so also a speed support. And the forms that he does have double team, which I think is like what, normal form? And yeah, speed form, right? Oh, no, not normal form. I guess just speed form then. which makes sense. It's speed form. It buffs team speed. All right. What else do we have? I think that's most of it, right? And then obviously everything else is at 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, you have Furious Brain, which is the big regular move multiplier. Got Soften Up to make sure you get the guaranteed crit on your AoE sync. You got buy one get one on Psycho Boost, 50% chance again of getting a free move next when you're using Psycho Boost. Disarm 9, guaranteed chance of lowering the opponent's attack and special attack by 1 when you're, hitting Flinch Trap confused units, right? So that's basically like a, Noble Roar, except you're like attacking with million damage plus Psycho Boosts. When you're hitting someone that's, again, Flinch Trap confused, get your last link with Power Up Node. Crit odds 9, guaranteed chance of buffing your crit by 2. When you use, again, there's a few forms that could use that, I guess. Not attack form because you already maxed that out generally. So if you're going for like a nuker on like normal form or like speed form, I guess you could do that. What else? Recover Master Healer, MP Refresh and Recover. It's only MP Refresh 2 though, and then Move Gauge Refresh on Iron Defense, which, yeah, that's obviously a lot of your big stuff is in 3 out of 5. But again, like I mentioned before, I feel like 1 out of 5 is really enough for this guy. Yeah, if you want to do like a lot of fun stuff like, Disarm 9 or the recover stuff, right? Okay, maybe you'll need a bit more. But like otherwise, I feel like for the most part, Pep Rallies, that's the other one, right? For the most part, like 1 out of 5 is pretty much enough, right? Just because like he already does like a billion things with his base kit. Like what else do you really need from the grid? Anyways, so let's talk about it, right? Okay, all that being said, yes, he's very, very powerful. Yes, he's probably the best damage healer in the game. Yes, he's probably in conversation for being the best overall unit in the game. That being said, should you pull on him, right, is the issue. So my pull score for SS Steven would be a relatively, I'd say, high 9.5 out of 10, which is very, very high because, again, he is very powerful. He's very, very powerful. One thing that I hear a lot of people say is, oh, come on. Do we really need another Psychic type? Which is incredibly funny because type does not matter in this case. Type does not matter in this case, right? His damage is stronger than a lot of types, like strongest damage dealer, like off type on their type. Like for example, I think he does like almost like double Diantha's DPS. Diantha is the strongest fairy type DPS, right? Like by far, like fairy type DPS #1, Diantha. He does like twice that, which, if you guys know, super effective is just double the damage, right? So, okay, his damage off type is stronger than some type's strongest units damage on type. So does his psychic typing actually matter? I don't really think it actually matters. It doesn't really make any real difference. Doesn't make any real difference. Yeah, and then again, on top of that, he's not just a damage healer. That's only one of his 4 forms. Technically 5, but 4 usable ones. That's only one of his 4 forms, alright? So, yeah. Fantastic tank, right? Really nice, I guess, overkill of a speed buffing unit, if you want to go speed form. And you got another Psychic Terrain setter with really nice flinches and stuff, right? Debuffs, etc. in normal form. Also pretty solid nuke there as well. This is... It's 4 units for the price of 1, which is why, again, I value, like, his value overall very, very, very high. That being said, do you have to pull for him right now as soon as the banner drops? The answer is no. 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 Right? Because, again, do keep in mind, the anniversary is still coming up in a few weeks, right? 3 weeks or so. Before the banner goes away, we will know what the anniversary units are. We'll know what the anniversary units are before his banner goes away. You could decide then. There's no hurry. There's no rush to pull for him, right? Before you know what the anniversary units are. Do I think the anniversary units are going to be better than SS Steven? Honestly, I don't think so. It's gonna be very, very hard to be better for them to, you know, throw out units that are stronger than this guy for the anniversary, right? And it's not just because it's happened before last year, because last year you could argue Lear, which was like the pre-anniversary run-up unit, was stronger than all the second anniversary units. Although you could also argue maybe not, but I would say Lear was better. But that aside, right? Even if you're like me, and you think, okay, the anniversary, it's going to be very, very hard for the anniversary units to be better. Is it possible for the anniversary units to be better than SS Steven? I would say, yeah, it's possible. Is it very likely? Maybe not, man. Just, again, just considering how freaking, like, insane this unit is. Who knows? Who knows, right? But even if you do think that he's going to be better than anniversary units, there's no harm in just waiting a few more weeks, right? No, like, for those who haven't summoned in a while, you've waited all this time. 3 more weeks is all, and then we get the anniversary, and then just go spend all your gems, right? Yeah. Also, people say he's not a Master Fair, which is true, right? I do think Master Fairs in general, even if a Master Fair is a bit worse than a pokefair, right? I'm not saying this like as a hard rule. I'm not saying for you to like, oh yeah, always pull on Master Fairs over pokefairs, which is why you should go pull on I was thinking of an example of like a bad Master Fair thrown above it, but there's not that many bad Master Fairs. Like which is why you should pull on SS even not even, they're not bad, man. Annie Steven, right? I don't think Annie Steven's bad at all, by the way. For the record, I think Annie Steven's pretty freaking good. But you know, a lot of people think Annie Steven's bad. Let's take Annie Steven for example. Does not mean, you know, you should pull on Annie Steven over, well, this guy, for example, or even maybe Dojo Gloria, which is very, very nice, or the SS May recently, right? I would probably, you know, suggest people to pull for those over something like, again, Annie Steven's not that bad, man. Maybe not the best example. I don't know. All the Masters are pretty good, but yeah. I mean, although if you do ask me, like, as good as Annie Steven is, would I take Annie Steven or SS Steven or SS Morty or SS Brendan, SS May, Dojo Gloria? I would take all those over SS Steven, or not SS, Annie Steven. There's too many Stevens around. So yeah, that's I guess my 2 cents on that. But generally, I would still say Master Fairs would hold a lot more inherent value over Poke Fairs, right? For a few reasons. First of all, they have a higher 5-star rate. And also do keep in mind that this Steven's banner will not most likely, right? Well, not most likely. It's not going to have Courtney, right? And most likely the anniversary banners will have Courtney on it, which is really, really nice. I'll also have Looker on it as well, if you also do care for that. So that's like one extra reason. Also, again, they have higher regular 5-star rates. Obviously, the lower, you know, featured rates. But I mean, you should always go into banner having at least 36.6k gems on hand, so you don't go into the sunken cost, you know, fallacies and stuff. So yeah, that's this banner, I guess. If you're a whale, 100% go for him. He's like, again, arguably one of the best units in the game. But as a free-to-play player, I would still advise just to wait a bit, right? Just wait a bit. He's good. He's really freaking good, right? Yeah, he's like SS Lyra levels of good, I'd say, but still, just wait a bit, he's great and all, but yeah. Also I forgot, well, not forgot, I got lost while talking about the Pokefair Master Fair thing. Also, the other thing about Pokefairs is Pokefairs do come back relatively fast, which is not always true, because like Classic Lisa hasn't come back in 8 months, 9 months now, something like that. 8 months, right? So it's not always true that, you know, but Master Fairs, you know, we've finally had our first Master Fair rerun in Groudon and Kyogre, and that's what, a year and 2 months? 3 months? So, Master Fairs just don't come back that often. So, anyways, whatever, man. Yeah, that's, damn it, it's 25 minutes. And I didn't even talk that much about, like, Steven's kit. I more so just talked about, like, the Alley of the Banner and stuff. We didn't even give, like, whatever. I'll let you guys go. And that's been this one, I guess. Hope you all know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the videos. We're having some more Poem Masters content, all that stuff. Have fun, and we're finally gonna check them out later tonight. Could be a lot of stuff in there, right? A lot of things to see. And yeah, definitely do, you know, I would say at least wait till, you know, we've like tested the unit out and stuff, right? But whew, this is hell of a bait, man. This is the best, like, of all the bait units that they've ever put out before anniversaries. This is #1. I don't think any bait has been like close to as powerful as this bait is, right? I mean, none of the baits before has ever really been in conversation for the best unit in the game, right? Maybe Leer, but I don't really think Leer exactly at the time was so. Tough man. We'll see. All right, have fun. I'll see you guys. I'm rambling again. Oh my god, terrible habit. I'm sorry.